look, you have the intelligence community, which was confronted. They were confronted by Representative Devin Nunes and other Republicans on the House Intelligence Committee. They are violating their authority by going after Americans under the guise of terrorism. The intelligence community, the Director of National Intelligence, Avril Haines, who is a John Brennan lackey, they are going outside of their authority, basically breaking the law by producing documents claiming that the biggest threat in the country are domestic violent extremists. And when one congressman, Chris Stewart from Utah, who did a great job, he confronted all of these intelligence community officials and said, you're not allowed to spy on Americans, right? This is not what you're supposed to do. They all admitted it. But Avril Haines, her first duty, she released a report at the beginning of March talking about this threat. And on the top of the column that says domestic violent extremism is a picture of the U.S. Capitol. Like, they're not even trying to be subtle. This is what they're creating. So to hear Joe Biden say that, Jack, I didn't think a president could be more divisive than Barack Obama. Joe Biden, for once, is actually doing something better than Barack Obama did. He is so much more divisive. He's just gaslighting this country. I don't know if he really realizes what he's saying, if he's just reading the words that are given to him, but just another shameful example. But this is all perpetrated by a lot of these Obama holdovers, loyalists, what they're doing, and of course, fully emboldened by the Democrats and a lot of Republicans too.
Joe Biden is an Obama holdover. Okay, so here's the deal about Joe Biden. He's a stupid idiot. Okay. In 2011, he pushed the Dear Colleague letter, which changed the Title IX regulations, which stripped people of due process on college campuses because he fell to the rape culture myth. There's articles detailing how these activists, using a flawed study that overstated all kinds of rape and whatever, basically made it so that if somebody thinks something about you that you don't like, it gets marked down as rape. They use this study to pull on the heartstrings of good old Grandpa Joe Biden, and make him be like, oh, there's a rape crisis, rape culture in America. We better do everything we got. We got to stop the rape crisis. Doesn't matter if the kids have, constitutional rights or due process or have a hearing or can face their accuser or even know what the accusation is. Nope, doesn't matter. That was Joe Biden. Joe Biden is the king of rape culture. He's the one that pushed it on America, basically by formalizing it in the 2011 Dear Colleague letter, which then increased all wokeness on college campuses. You can see the data. It's very clear. 2011, 2012, woke stuff to the freaking moon. So I am unsurprised. In fact, I predicted it before he was elected, even in the face of some of our more moderate people that we may know who are like, oh, Biden won't be so woke. It's good to have him back. Blah, 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 blah. Bull crap, total bull crap. And it's come out now. Last night, he sits down in front of Congress, joint session, which he delayed by months. I believe it was one of the latest first joint sessions of Congress addresses by any president going back farther than Carter and even back before that, I believe. It was very calculated and very deliberate. I believe it was tied potentially to the January 6th investigations, why they had this delay, right? They wanted to delay it and so that they could have as big of a case to make so that they can say white supremacy, a.k.a. white culture, a.k.a. you are a terrorist, bro. The majority of people in America are now terrorists, according to our white grandpa president. It would be sad and pathetic if it wasn't. No, it would be hysterical if it wasn't so sad and pathetic and terrifying.
Right.
What are they going to do with this, Julie? What's the timeline? How fast? When do the trains load us up?
I know, exactly. I don't know. I mean, there was two encouraging things I'll say really quickly. One, the D.C. Appellate Court, 3 appointees, I believe, one from Obama, one Clinton, one Trump, who smacked down the case of Eric Munchall, the zip tie guy. Remember the guy holding up the zip ties? Just funny, there was a big stash of them there, and a photographer just happened to be there when he picked them up, or maybe he was prompted to pick them up, so he did. They both turned themselves in. It was he and his mother who had gone to the Trump speech and then were inside the Capitol. They turned themselves in. They also were held, denied bail. That got kicked up to the D.C. appellate circuit. they smacked down both the judge who ruled on that and also federal prosecutors. And they really outlined what needs to, the thresholds, as you said, that need to be met for keeping these protesters behind bars pending trial. That has had, as I said, a downstream effect on a lot of these detainees. There was the man, Richard Barnett, who was photographed in Nancy Pelosi's office. It ends up, it wasn't at her desk, it was just a desk there. Funny, again, photographers just happened to be in Nancy Pelosi's office, encouraged Mr. Barnett to act natural, sit at the desk and act natural as they took his photograph. Suddenly that somehow got to Nancy Pelosi's daughter, Christine, who tweeted it out to the world within an hour of that picture being taken. So you had media agitators also there that day. But anyway, Judge Cooper this week, I listened into the hearing. He made some crazy statements. He said 5 people were killed, etc., but also released Mr. Barnett after he has been held in jail for 4 months, citing this Munchell case for the DC, at the DC Appellate Court. So I think that these judges and the government now see this is going to get kicked up to the appellate court, and they were not very pleased with how at least Eric Munchell and his mother were treated, but also gave a warning shot to the government and to the courts about what they were going to do with these people being held behind bars, nonviolent protesters.
It's a shame.
So there's a little hope.
It's a shame. It's what we got to do, though. This is part of it. We have to keep reporting on it. We have to keep bringing the truth out. We have to keep speaking the truth. People listening, you have to keep repeating the truth. I mean, sure, we're a little bit biased, but these facts are facts. No one got killed except for Ashley. No one brought a deadly weapon except for the cops. Half the people were let in the door. I saw the open doors walking past police officers. Some of them did some bad things. They should be prosecuted. 18-year-old kids should not be held in solitary confinement for weeks because of trespassing. This is sad. But we got to keep doing this, guys. We got to keep fighting back. Julie, you got to keep doing what you're doing. I really, truly appreciate the work and effort that you're putting in. Really.
Thank you.
Somebody had to do it. You're doing it. It's got to be thankless. There's no real rewards about it. But you're doing the right thing and you're doing good work, and we do truly appreciate it. And we know that you're on it, and I'm sure there's going to be updates, and keep investigating. If there's anything that I can do to help you out or to help move this thing along, please let me know. This January 6th in my mind is in my head. I can hear a date that will live on in infamy. January 6th is going to be the WMD of 2021. And by that, I mean it is going to be the false pretense by which a counterterrorism effort is enacted upon the American people, in the same way that WMD was used as a false pretense to invade Iraq. Rosie is barking at the mailman. It wouldn't be a podcast if it wasn't, with a guest appearance by the dog. But this is important stuff, because this is going to shape the interactions that we have with the federal government over the next 4 years, or maybe longer.
Right.
And they're going to use this to come after people that just donate money, the same mindset, right? The white supremacy is terrorism mindset, right? Everything is terrorism now. Punctuality is terrorism. Rugged individualism is terrorism. This is the mindset that they're going to use when people get fired for donating money to Kyle Rittenhouse's legal fund. Heaven forbid that the guy get due process. Remember when John Adams represented the British in the Boston Massacre? Good grief. That's what America is based on. That is our values. Those are our values. I am getting hot about it. But Julie, again, thank you so much for your time and energy. Thank you so much for your work. Where can people find you? How can they support you? Tell us.
Well, thank you so much for having me on and for your coverage of this. And as we go on, you're bringing attention to it, and it is going to be vitally important to spreading the word. So my work can be found at amgreatness.com. That's where all my articles are. I'm on Twitter a lot. As you know, Julie_Kelly2 is my Twitter handle. And hopefully on another podcast of Jack Murphy's soon once I figure out how to get my camera to work on my laptop. But anyway, that's
I appreciate that, Julie.
By.
No worries about the technical issues. We are a guerrilla on the street outfit here. Nobody expects us to be CNN. That's why they're listening. So it's all part of the show. I appreciate it. Citizen journalism, Julie, this is what it's all about. This is the future. This is the future. Citizen journalists, info militias, and we are working together to bring the truth to the people. Right. Very few people are out there doing that right now. And in fact, the people that control the means of information distribution, they certainly don't want you to have the truth. So please support people like Julie who are out there digging in and really putting the time and energy to figure this out for all of us, for history, for posterity. And again, thanks for coming on the show. Make sure you guys follow her on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at Jack Murphy Live. Subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. Hit that reminder button so you know when the live streams are coming, and share this widely, guys. I get a lot of comments all the time on my YouTube page saying your channel is wildly undersubscribed. I agree. 44,000. We need more, guys. So share the videos. Wow. That is the way that works. I appreciate it.